One thing that has shifted so much over the course of the past couple of months is everything has gone virtual. Um,
Mm.
I mean, I feel like I live on Zoom. I live in front of the camera on my laptop. With that being said, now people you don't necessarily know who is in your audience, and these broadcasts they live on for years and years and years. How has that impacted IP, and how should people protect themselves in that standpoint?
Right. Another great question. I mean, a lot of that, the data that we're going to need to have to answer that question, because a lot of this virtual world that we live in now is relatively new. It's exploding anyway. Is yet to be seen. But let me just back up a second and answer the question that I think this sort of evolved from, which is I frequently hear individuals, startups, and even others say, "I'm afraid that someone's going to steal my invention." This is just a common fear. They've put a lot of energy into it, and they want to know, what's the likelihood that's going to happen, and how can I protect myself against that? And I'll tell you, in my 30 plus years of working in this industry, I've never experienced an actual theft of an invention from one of my clients or customers, or even heard of one. Now, I have seen cases where companies and innovators were trying to solve the same problem at the same time, or roughly the same time, and independently arrived at similar solutions. That does happen. But actual flat out theft, I've never seen it. Should you worry about it? Maybe a little bit, but don't let it sort of stop you from following the innovation path that you're trying to follow.
So where did that notion of someone's going to steal my idea come from? Do you have the roots to that?
I think it's just a visceral human response. I've got something that I think is incredibly great. It's mine. I don't want to be able to do with it what I can do, and I don't want other people taking it. It's one of those things. It's like you don't leave the keys to your car out on the sidewalk because you're afraid someone will take your car. It's, as far as I can tell, that's it. Now, Tim did ask another part to that question, which is interesting, about the online aspect now of the gatherings that we're having, and the fact that you don't know who's actually looking at the material. And I will certainly agree that one of the ways to control your innovations and access to them is to know who's getting to look at them. And when in today's world, it's certainly the case that we have a little bit less control, so that fear is likely to increase. But I don't know that the risk really increases that much.